Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
At White Knot Technologies, we specialize in bags, embroidery, branded wear, and screen printing. We provide the finest quality for affordable price and fast turnaround time. We make sure you'll be satisfied with your order. Visit us at 18 Fisher Avenue, Epping.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Enengi Nengi, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I'm just gonna do some African news and speak about one of my favorite countries in the continent, and that is Niger. Before I do that, let me just do a shout out to most of you guys are blasting my comment section like crazy. I appreciate it from you guys watching from all around the continent and around the world. South Africa, you guys are always blasting the comment section left and right everywhere in South Africa. I can't name you guys individually in this video. I'll do it on another video. Zambia, you guys are always here. Eswatini, recently Eswatini people have been on the comment section. I appreciate it so much. Zimbabwe is always in the heart. Namibia, I can never forget Namibia, also one of my favorite countries in Africa. Kenyans, welcome. Kenyans, thank you so much. Everything is Nzuru, and Nigeria is always on the comment section. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the comment section. And then, of course, we've got Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. They're always on the comment section. And Ethiopia is also on the comment section. Thank you so much. The UK is on the comment section, and the US is always on the comment section. So, guys, I want to speak about this issue of sanctions now being opposed to Niger. We all know that in July 2023, the Niger general, the military Gupta or Yupta took over the government. They took over Mohamed Bazoum. They said, "Listen, Mohamed, you are doing nothing to enhance the lives of or better the lives of the Nigerians. You are messing us up. You are enriching yourself and your family, and you are making France forever rich." And the reason they were fighting is because of uranium, but I'll get to that. So once they took over, once the military took over the country, took over the politics of the country, took the keys of parliament, France could no longer loot the uranium that they were buying for 80 cents per kilogram compared to the market value that is about 200 and something dollars per kilogram of uranium. Remember, France is using the uranium of Niger for medical purposes and for electricity. About 30% of France's electricity comes from the uranium that comes from Niger. So Niger is feeding France with electricity and giving them the mineral to do as they please. So the Europe and the USA have now supported ECOWAS to enforce sanctions upon Niger. I want to speak about this. ECOWAS, for those who don't know, I'll keep on repeating this. ECOWAS is like 15 countries in the western side of Africa. The head of ECOWAS is that old man from Nigeria. He's the head of ECOWAS. So when Mohamed Bazoum was taken out of parliament, the head of ECOWAS threatened the military operation of Niger, the military general, to say, "Listen, if you don't put Mohamed Bazoum back, we are going to send ECOWAS army to you, meaning the other countries of ECOWAS will attack this poor Niger. Why were they doing that? Is because France and the US was funding them, was giving them funding. But France and Niger don't want to attack Niger directly because it will look like they are starting war. So they are backing behind ECOWAS. So they want Africans to fight Africans. So we know that that never happened. Why? Because of Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim, he's the general that took over Burkina Faso, the youngest president right now in Africa, about 34 years old, the same age as his ancestor took over the country, which is Thomas Sankara, took over in the when was it? When was it? The early 60s, 1960s, 80s, somewhere there. I'm speaking under correction. So Tom Ibrahim Traoré said, no one will attack Niger. Remember, Niger is bordering Nigeria, Burkina Faso, and Mali, and all of those countries around Niger. So Ibrahim said, we will support Niger, and any country that attacks Niger, we will attack that country. Not only him, the other general of Mali said, I'm jumping in. The three generals signed an armed force agreement to say a military, they call it a military agreement, military force agreement, something like that. They said, the three of us, if anyone attack our countries, we are going to attack back and we're going to unite. And that's what we talk about, African unity. These three countries have got something in common. They were all colonized by France. You remember back in the days when France left Mali and giving them independence and all that, they threw concrete into the pipelines, even in Burkina Faso, in the pipeline, the sewage pipeline, so that the country can start from scratch. Just imagine they closing the pipelines of the sewage so that you can struggle. So the EU is now pushing ECOWAS to take actions because they are finding them. Remember, most African countries survive on aid from developed countries, especially US and Europe. So the EU is saying, listen, take actions against Niger, and we will support you. We will give you guns, just the way they are doing with Israel and Palestine. Oh my goodness, you guys. The EU has suspended financial aid and support to Niger. They have also stopped. They've also stopped and freezed its account, its international account. Also putting what you call travel bans. They're putting travel bans on everyone that is involved in taking out Mohamed Bazoum out of government. So officials of government can no longer travel overseas because there are travel bans. They can't go to the EU. They can't go to Europe. They can't go to the US. Their funding is stopping from coming from there. And you remember, once the military coups took over, the military juntas took over in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and now in Chad Republic. And I can also speak about Gambia, but we'll speak about that on another day. They took the French ambassadors and the French army to say, listen, you guys leave our country. Remember, the French army, they fund rebels, and then they talk to the president. They say, listen, president, we will fight the rebels for you, but allow us to plant a military camp in your country. Once they are in your country, they are immune to the laws of your country. They can shoot and kill anyone. Nothing will happen. That is signed off, that the military of France in those countries, in many of those countries, can do as they please. There have been many reports where they've killed and did whatever they please with the people, raping the sisters, the African sisters, and everything. Now my question will be, Why is it that African leaders in the South, whether being Julius Malema, be it Ruta, or all the presidents, they are not making the same noise they are making about Israel and Palestine, with what is happening with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, especially in Niger, because France and the EU and the US want to turn Niger into Zimbabwe with the sanctions that they are imposing on Niger. That is what is happening here. So my anger is, why is it that the African Union, why is it the African people, African presidents don't unite behind supporting Niger? Niger now is getting a problem that the prices of food is going up because of lack of foreign aid, lack of import and export. The borders are closed. The borders this side of Nigeria, everywhere, the borders are closed. Food is not coming in. Exports are not going out. Niger's got cattle for days. They were exporting cattle and everything. They can't do that anymore because the borders are closed because of these sanctions that are being imposed on them. School education has doubled in terms of the price. You can imagine the fuel. Nigeria has also cut 30%, 30% of its electricity supply to Niger. Niger was getting some of its electricity from Nigeria. So now there is no more electricity. What happens when there's no electricity? Companies invest in generators, and generators require petrol or diesel. And now with that, the fuel price going up, the companies are closing off. The people on Niger are suffering. The cost of living is amazing in Niger. That is what is happening. And I'm asking you as Pan-Africanists, if we say truly we are Pan-Africanists, why are we not helping countries like Niger? Because remember, the problem is going to be once Niger is down on its knees, the people will start leaving to the neighboring countries, and the neighboring countries will start treating people saying foreigners, foreigners, just the way South Africa are doing with Zimbabweans and other people saying, no, they are foreigners, they must go back home, not understanding the economical situation that the French has left our countries into. That is what is happening here. I am so angry and so disgusted by our politicians in Africa. Look at the noise they are making with Israel and Palestine. Just look at the noise. You would think Israel and Palestine is somewhere in Africa the way they are making noise. You would think that African people are dying in Israel and Palestine the way they are making noise. And I do sympathize and empathize with the loss of life in Israel and Palestine. And I do believe what Israel is doing is wrong. But I am saying let's have the same energy, the same love that we have for people that are not even in our continent, let's have the same love for our African brothers and sisters. Now, the issue is going to be, this is what the EU wants to happen in Niger. They want Niger to be poor. They don't want food to be there. They have stopped foreign aid. They have stopped everything, blocked bank accounts and everything. So at the end, the people of Niger are going to turn against the army and say, listen, no man, put back the old president, Mohamed Bazoum, because even when he was president, at least we could eat. That is how Africans have been treated. They've been cornered to become beggars. But I must say, Niger people are very resilient. From what I'm reading, from what I'm watching, Niger people are very, very resilient. They are the ones who went to the army camp of France and said, shoot us or leave us. We don't want you here anymore. So I'm very proud of the spirit of Ubuntu in Niger. They're really fighting. They're really fighting. And I'm asking my Nigerian people that be patient with the military the new military government that has taken over, they are fighting for you guys. Now they are exporting, they are trying to export uranium with market price instead of 80 cents per kilogram. What type of nonsense is that? What is 80 cents per kilogram compared to 250 uh, dollars per kilogram? Come on, come on. So be patient. They are trying to fix it. You can see in your neighboring countries in Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso that the army is actually winning. Look at what is Ibrahim doing in Burkina Faso, building a new airport, improving infrastructure, taking over the gold mines and everything. Beautiful. So I just wanted to alert you guys as to what is happening in Niger so that you guys can stay informed when it comes to that. It's your boy King053. If you're new on the channel, please don't even hesitate to subscribe, click the like button, and leave your thoughts on the comment section. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up and do your best so that God can do the rest. I salute you.